my god. Alongside the excellent Feathered Species DLC for Jurassic World Evolution 2, Frontier is giving us arguably the best update ever. And that's saying something considering how good the updates have consistently been. They just posted a deep dive about Update 6 on their forum, and in this video we will be going over all of the exciting information. Keep in mind that everything discussed in this video will come to your game on March 30th for free. More attractions is one of the most wanted things for Jurassic World Evolution 2, and Frontier listened, and boy did they deliver. I think one of the most prominent things from this free update is the introduction of the log viewing gallery, just as we saw in Jurassic World in 2015. An exciting new addition we have in Update 6 are remote viewing galleries. Introducing brand new ways to decorate your park, we've added 2 building attractions, the log viewing gallery and the dome viewing gallery. These new building pieces can be placed anywhere in an enclosure to allow your guests to get up close and personal with their favorite prehistoric species within the safety of the gallery. Now, because these attractions can be placed anywhere inside an enclosure, you do need to place an entrance building outside of the enclosure to connect it to the path, of course, so people can actually reach it. As awesome as the log viewing gallery is, I do think that the dome viewing gallery is even more versatile because the building itself it has a more general look. I think if you place 50 of these in your park, it's not gonna stand out too much. I think if you place 50 log viewing galleries, the gimmick is sort of gonna lose its appeal. Now, the dome viewing gallery works the same as the log viewing gallery. It will also need an underground connection to an entrance building. They advertise it here as being perfect to place inside aviaries, but do note that both of these are actually suitable for aviaries and enclosures. I don't know yet if the viewing dome gallery is going to get different building eras. So like, one designed dedicated to Jurassic Park, one for Jurassic World, DFW, etc. Maybe not, since it's not specified, and also again, it has quite a general aesthetic to it. I don't think it screams any given era. I think it'll go with all of them. Next up is a new cinematic camera mode. For those with a keen eye for photography, we've added a new cinematic camera mode. We can't wait to see what you do with this new feature. It will allow you to transition between camera angles and viewpoints across your park to instantly snap those picture-perfect views and exciting interactions between your prehistoric species. This mode will be accessed through capture mode, and you will even be able to add existing overlays of the postcards, the stamps, the logo, etc. We don't get all that much information about the cinematic camera mode at the moment. I'm really excited to be testing that out and see how it's going to improve the shots for my videos. Again, I will be doing a full showcase on the free update as well as the DLC as soon as it comes out. So if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, then please consider doing so. We've just reached 150,000 subscribers, which is absolutely awesome, and I hope you're all excited to see a lot of content for this new DLC and update. Here we have a look at the new zipline towers. We see the DFW and the Jurassic Park styled zipline building. I think the fact that they are showing just these two confirms that we're not getting a dedicated Biosyn one. I think that makes sense, since Biosyn is not a complete building set in and of itself anyway. It's always supplemented by the DFW buildings. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. Now, with the log viewing gallery and the viewing dome already out the way, you might think that the most exciting stuff is over, but I disagree. So for Sandbox mode, they are adding a plethora of new things, and plethora is a great word, so nice. Let's take a look at what we've added, they say. 6 new square levels will be available for you in Sandbox mode that are all based on the 6 different biome types in the game. Southwest USA, San Diego, and California levels will also be getting 3 expanded square levels. I do think the phrasing is a little vague here, and it's also just a case of me thinking that it's almost too good to believe, but thankfully they did clarify to someone asking about this on Twitter. They clarified that square levels are square versions of certain maps based on the different biomes. So we are indeed getting the square maps that we know from Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, Prehistoric Kingdom, which leaves us to be entirely in charge of what the shape of our park is going to be, instead of being dictated by the weird squiggly shape of a map that they have come up with for the current maps that we have in the game. So this is a very, very welcome part of the update. We're gonna get a square map for all of the biomes, and I think what they mean with the expanded levels for certain maps that they're referencing is gonna mean that those maps are going to be especially large. I'm not sure about that though, and we don't know about the map size overall. We don't know if they're gonna be as big as Prehistoric Kingdom and Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, Frontiers, other titles, but it's a very, very good start that we're just gonna get a square shape to start with. You know me, I like a good square. Some more settings in Sandbox are also being introduced, and here we have it, folks. Unlimited feeder reserves. And let me see. Yeah, here you go. If you choose to turn on the unlimited feeder reserve setting, feeders will no longer need to be refilled by the ranger team, freeing up management time. The other Sandbox settings are income tax, wild capture frequency, and decoration foliage. Decoration foliage, I'm gonna be freaking out about, but first the other two. Income tax and wild capture frequency, as they go on to say, can be toggled in 4 levels: none, low, medium, and high. So you have full control of how much income your park generates and how often wild capture events will occur. You can basically fill a full park with just dinosaurs that you caught in the wild. And now, here we go. This is honestly one of the things that I've been saying would make Jurassic World Evolution 2 just infinitely better, like instantly. And that is to make all foliage available on all maps. And that's exactly what we're getting. The decoration foliage setting will allow you to use foliage from all biomes or the level's specific biome as you choose. So this means that you can use the decorative trees that are on, let's say, the Arizona map. You can now put them on the California map. You can mix and match, and it's really going to help create different biomes within your enclosures and just nicely decorated areas. For example, I was complaining about the Bios and Sanctuary map having kind of a boring foliage set. But that's not an issue anymore, because you can just pull in like the fluffy bush, the superior fluffy bush from the Canada and California map. You can put that anywhere. This is amazing, amazing, absolutely incredible. I really feel like this shows that Frontier really does listen to the community. They really do take our requests and suggestions into account, because this is something that many people have been asking for. Now, there is one caveat, and it's a very predictable one. This feature will only be available on new generation consoles. It's not mentioned here, but I'm 100% sure that it also includes PC gamers. However, this all foliage on all maps situation will not be available if you are on an older console, because the same restrictions apply as with the decorations and the number of species. The last bit of the update is all about quality of life changes, and there's one in here that is very specific to something I addressed in one of my previous videos. Now, first off, no need to wait for toilets, amenities, and shelters to be built over time anymore, as they will now be built instantly. Of course, instant building is already a thing in Sandbox, so what they are referring to here is instant building in challenge mode and chaos theory and the campaign. So these specific buildings, toilets, amenities, and shelters will be built instantly now. Now, this is the one I mentioned. This is something I've talked about previously. When you want to add several viewing galleries, you place one, and then your cursor is empty. So you have to go into the menu, get a viewing gallery, place another one. Cursor empties. Go back to the menu, get a viewing gallery. They've changed that now. We've also added the ability to place multiples of the same building without needing to enter the build menu each time with a quick shortcut. just use Control plus left mouse button on keyboard and R3 on controller. That is really, really helpful because yeah, sometimes you do build a lot of the same buildings one after another, and it is a bit of a drag to keep going back and forth between the menu. It's a very specific thing that I complained about, and maybe more people complained about it, because here you have it. They fixed it. Control left mouse button to just keep placing the same buildings. Small dinosaurs are getting a new behavior in Update 6. They will be able to raise their head when they're walking through water and even navigate through areas where they would have been blocked before. Navigate areas where they would have been blocked before might mean that creating a barrier with just decorations, perhaps that will no longer work. We're gonna have to test that out when the update actually releases. I would like to point out that it's very unlikely that this will negate what they introduced in the previous update, where the very smallest animals will be blocked by water. So that's Morus intrepidus, Compsognathus, and Oviraptor and Coelophysis, if I recall correctly. They would be blocked by a body of water. I don't think this undoes that, okay? So I still think that those super small creatures will not be able to go through deeper water, but other small creatures that are still able to go through any sort of body of water will raise their heads. Combat for sauropods is being addressed, but perhaps not necessarily what many people wanted. It has just been adjusted. They will now take damage in chunks rather than continuously, and begin bleeding out once they reach 15% health. Feedback for when the bleed out state is affecting a dinosaur has also been added, so you'll be able to manage your injured dinosaurs more efficiently. None of the combat for sauropods here hints at sauropods actually being able to fight back. They just take damage differently now. That is the extent of the changes here, which is unfortunate. I do think that adding an animation set for sauropods to whip their tail or kick or something like that would be much, much, much wanted. To further facilitate these changes, hunting behaviors of carnivores have also seen some changes. They will now attack less frequently and may even fail a hunt depending on their individual combat stats and the defense level of the sauropod, and they've adjusted some cohabitation for some species as well. I'm just gonna move past that. If you want to read the full article, even though we are discussing 99% of it, you can pause to read it right here, and of course I will also link it in the description box. Our console community will be excited to hear that you can now import your PS4 player progress to the PS5 version of the game, meaning all your progress will be merged and nothing will be overwritten when being transferred over to the PS5. That is all the information we have about free Update 6 right now. Remember, it's free, it's coming out on March 30th, and of course I will be doing a full showcase of all of the content once it comes out, so again, please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Frontier has a live stream next Friday where they will be showing off the new content. I will be making a stream highlights video for you all after that, so you don't have to watch their full live stream. I'm just gonna give you the best bits, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and until next time, enjoy the hype.